Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. What we're going to be talking about today is actually link building, which is a very hot topic in the rank and rent digital real estate space. And I want to show you guys how to do it the right way. And so I'm actually going to roll this into a private training that I did inside my private Facebook group where you'll see my screen, you'll see all the students asking questions and how I was able to answer those questions. But before we get started on that, I wanted to just give a basic overview of this link building process. So there's two main types of links that you are going to be dealing with that are important for your SEO to make sure your websites are ranking the highest, bringing in the most amount of leads, and that you can sell them and rent them out for the most amount of money. So the first one is called an internal link. This is where website A is linking to another page on website A. So they're on the same domain. This could be from your home page to a service page. This could be from a service page to a city page. Could be from your home page to a city page. Could be to a blog post, right? So any web page that's on the same domain, that's an internal link. And those are important because it gives Google contextual understanding of everything that is linked together, okay? So that's super, super important, especially for those of you using a good blogging strategy. If you're in my private group, then you know exactly what that is. But now let's go ahead and take a look at backlinks, which are the big thing that people are always worried about. So a backlink is when a website, let's call it website A, is linked to website B, okay? And it could be the homepage linking to another homepage. It could be the homepage linking to a service page or a city page of another website. But the page that is receiving the link right here, I can go ahead and use this. The page that's receiving the link is the page that is going to be receiving that vote of confidence, that link equity, that link juice that is being passed from this page. Now, not all links are created equal. And so there are certain websites that you definitely want to try to get a link from, but there are other websites as well that you definitely do not want to get a link from. It will actually hurt your rankings more than help you. Okay, so pay close attention. I'm going to go ahead and roll the channel intro. I hope you guys enjoy. It's a pretty long video. It's over an hour long. And so maybe, stop it, come back to it or whatever. But it is a fantastic example of how to get good local links for local lead generation. So I hope you guys enjoy. I'm on my way to go quit my job right now. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started for today. It's been a good week on my front. Been able to close a couple deals and getting some cool stuff. Working on cool stuff with people, and striking up business partnerships, all sorts of good stuff. So, as we always like to start out, sometimes I forget, but I'd love to start out with any wins that you guys have that you'd like to share with the group, big or small, doesn't really matter. Just want to get the positive vibes going. Anybody want to share anything with us?
Secured. Well, here, go ahead, John.
Oh, John raised his hand first, so we'll go with John and then Corey.
I just got off a meeting with Ripple Pool Service in Sacramento, and I closed the deal with him, 600 a month.
Hey, all right. Ringing the bell, baby, ringing the bell. Dude, congrats, man. That's awesome. How does it feel?
Yeah, it feels awesome, man. We're gonna be doing an ad campaign. So
nice.
A lot of that may be spent on it, ads, but like whatever is left over is profit. It's just good to get a first deal out of the door, So I've been working on this one quite a bit. So
nice. That's awesome. Yeah, and I think if that might have been the one you were showing me like last week, right? Where you're ranking for a decent amount of search terms, right?
Yeah, so like the website's getting 3 to 5 calls a month. And I think that's going to improve soon because it's kind of winter time, and
yeah,
I'm trying to get it higher in the rankings, but it's pretty competitive area. But luckily, the cost per click in the area is pretty low. So I just kind of showed the business owner like the cost per click. And, I basically told him, yeah, well, essentially we can get, 3 to 5 leads per week. And so we're going to do like month to month basis, and
Nice.
basically, see how it goes. But I have a really good feeling, it's going to get a lot of business for him. And he told me he had a goal. He wants to sign on 83 new customers this year. So I'm going to try to help him with that.
Sweet.
So all we have to do is get him 7 new weekly pool service clients per month. So, um, and if it goes well, it can lead to more stuff, I think, for sure. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing, man. All these deals, they lead to all sorts of good stuff. It opens doors and everything. So that's awesome, man. I know you've been grinding at this, and that's awesome, man. Congratulations.
thank you.
Round of applause for John, man. So happy for you. First of many. All right, Corey.
Secured 4 backlinks in the last week and
Nice.
everything, all from different areas.
There
So
you
it's
go.
like just gonna see how they do on a couple different websites and see which ones are giving the best. You saw that one I posted up that's 23 over 21. And that was my client build site, which is John, me and you might have to connect later. My client build, he builds pools in the Sacramento area.
Oh,
So we
nice.
might have to connect because if once he builds a pool and everything, every time he builds one, I'll make sure to have him like either reach out to your guy or something like that. Maybe we just pass the recommendations on so that way your guy can maybe get some extra leads. We'll pass them on through you so that way they're coming from you still and stuff. We'll figure it
Yeah,
out.
dude, that'd be cool. Yeah, I like that.
That's awesome. That's
Absolutely. And if
awesome.
maybe we could do backlinks too to each other. That may help. I don't know.
Yeah, since you're a pool service and everything,
Yeah.
Zach, we'd
It's
be able
it's
to
topically
we'd be able
relevant.
to link stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, good deal. That's awesome, guys. Anybody else have any wins that they'd like to share? Again, big or small? Just want to make sure and let everybody chat. We've had some awesome wins the last little while. So very cool. All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and dive into training. So, last couple weeks we've been, just talking about different things. Like last week, we did a pretty deep site audit on one of Peter and Amanda's sites, and we talked about it, landscape design down in Arlington, Texas, right? And so we did a deep dive there, checked it all out, and things are looking good on that front. Gave some good pointers. And I know we've had some questions about the backlink, and we've touched on it a little bit, but not a ton. I wanted to get kind of a gauge of at least the Zoom room here. What would you guys like to chat and talk about this week? If anybody has a site they want me to take a look at, a deal that they're trying to close, they just need some help with certain things. I've got, so Amanda says backlinks. That seems to be a pretty popular one. So we could totally touch on some backlinks, I guess. Yeah, let's just go ahead and roll with that. So let me over here. I'm going to pull up my PineFlock subscription real quick. So PineFlock, if you guys remember from a couple weeks ago, we talked about it. It's basically a big bundle of SEO tools that has Majestic in it. So you can buy Majestic is like the cheapest that I've found decent tool to investigate backlink research and stuff. It's $49 for a month for the light version, which gets you pretty much everything that you could need really for our purposes. But then PineFlock is just double that, so it's $100 a month, but it comes with Majestic, it comes with SEMrush, 7 content editors in Surfer, which I taught you. I showed you guys Surfer last week, and a bunch of other stuff too. SpyFu, Mangles, Grammarly. It has a Grammarly. Now it is shared because they're all like this is like $1,200 a month worth of tools, but because the people who made PineFlock, like they bundle a bunch of accounts together, so you're kind of renting essentially a like an enterprise account type of a thing. So anyways, but I'm going to pull this up here. And Amanda, do you have, if you want to throw out in the chat, Amanda, if you want to throw out one of your websites that you'd like us to try to, just basically, I'll just do like a short little backlink session. We can try to find some topically relevant links. Okay, so the Arlington one that you guys showed. Okay, so all right, let me share my screen here. Okay, so this is Majestic when you first log in. Okay, so there's a couple of things that you can do to kind of get the ball rolling on a backlink sesh with Majestic, right? So you can look at, you can look at competitors' websites that are in your exact niche in your market, or you can also look more on a national level as well. And when it comes to backlinks, what we're looking for is we're looking for something called topical relevance. So what that means is the backlink that is being sent to us a relevant to our niche or our marketplace, like our city, our area. Ideally, we want to get one of the two, and that's going to be the majority of them, because if we're getting a link from someone that's in the exact same niche, in the exact same market, like chances of that happening are pretty slim, because technically like competitors and stuff, but it's not completely unheard of. So with that being said, what I'll do right here is, since it's landscape design, I'm going to go ahead and type in best landscape design company, or I'll say companies in United States. And what I'll probably get is like a article of some sort, a blog of some sort that talks about all of the different ones. So let's go ahead and look at this Inven.ai top 19 landscape architecture companies. So the reason why I'm coming here is because this is a curated list of what these guys, and you never know what their agenda is for writing an article about these guys. Like Inven, I don't know what that is, but chances are they're trying, you're using articles to generate traffic, right? So they might want to, do business with some of these people or whatever. But the point is that we want to try and find companies that are doing well. So headcount. So this is kind of cool. It gives you headcount. Let's go ahead and look at these guys, Bolton and Menk. Okay, so let's just get a gauge of how big of a company these guys are by looking at page and then backlink count before we go put it into Majestic. So it's not giving me. Okay, so they've got quite a few. Let me go back here and type on here. Oh, it doesn't give me the number of pages, so that's kind of annoying. But it does show me that they have a ton of backlinks. So they have over 6,000 backlinks, right? So that's the reason why I come to a company that's like dominating like this, to get us started in the right direction. Because what do we know if a company is doing this well? They've probably got teams of SEO people or massive agencies that they've hired for thousands of dollars a month to do the hard work for us. Go find backlinks that are topically relevant, right? So we're basically just, call it a copycat method, call it whatever you want to call it, but we're going to take the work that these guys have either paid for or done themselves in-house, and we're going to go look and see if there's opportunities for us. Now, not every opportunity, as you'll see here, let me copy this URL and paste it into here. Not every single opportunity is going to be a place where we can go get a link, but look at this link profile right here. You guys know closest to 1-to-1 ratio as possible is best. And if one number is going to be bigger than the other, which one do we want? We want trust flow bigger, right? This is 52/41 for this entire site. This is dominating. This is dominating the amount of backlinks, right? And then in Majestic, you do have this cool little feature where it's like fresh versus historic. So Google, in an ideal world, they want to see us getting, fresh backlinks, meaning and natural looking, right? So meaning like, hey, these guys are putting out content, they're building their brand, they're building this right now. we're not going to be competing with these guys on the local level, right? Which is good news for us because we're not going to go try to build a link profile where we're getting 3,000 new backlinks this year, right? All we really need is maybe 4 to 5 solid links and 4 to 5 other whatever links that aren't even that great, but just natural looking to start building some, some authority in Google's eyes, right? So I can't remember if I made this analogy in the training or not, but I'll just stop sharing my screen right here real quick. But this is the analogy of what backlinks are like. This is like, it's a weird analogy, but it's like the best one I could think of. So imagine for a second that you want to start a business. Okay, bear with me because this will hopefully make sense. But you want to start a business, and a friend of yours, let's call him Joe, comes up to you and is like, hey, I heard that you're wanting to start a business. You should talk to my friend, John, because John's awesome and he can help you start your business. Now, what you know about Joe, who's giving you the recommendation, right, is that Joe like sits on the couch, is a couch potato, doesn't do anything, has never started a business himself. And like you guys are more acquaintances rather than like good friends, right? He holds zero authority to be able to give a recommendation that you would actually pay attention to, right? You may go meet with John, you may not, whatever, but that's scenario A. Scenario B is you go talk somehow to Jeff Bezos or Warren Buffett or Elon Musk, and they're like, hey, you want to start a business? You should go talk to my friend Mary. She is going to hook you up. She's awesome. How much more of a suggestion or a vote of confidence is it coming from one of those guys who's built, billion-dollar companies, right? It means way more coming from them, right? And so imagine for a second that your website is the thing that people are referring to, and the backlink is who the reference is coming from, right? So if your website is, Mary in the Jeff Bezos scenario, and a website like a Jeff Bezos caliber website is linking back to you, that is showing Google that, hey, Jeff Bezos is giving a vote towards this, Mary chick that she knows what she's doing in whatever topic, right? Which is in our little fictitious scenario here, starting a business, right? And so the goal is like, we want to find those websites that we can either create a backlink on our own or ask for a backlink from, right? Through outreach, communication, whatever. Could be blogging. Like I know I told you guys the Haro method, right? Like that's essentially what you're doing is you're getting one of those websites, and why it works really well is you're getting one of those websites who are usually higher caliber websites to cite you, the website owner, as an expert of some sort, and they're going to link back to you, right? And if it's coming from a relevant article and the body of the text is relevant and the link itself has anchor text that's relevant, you're going to get a lot more of a boost, right, in your trust flow and citation flow. So that being said, we're looking for the higher quality areas to be able to. Now, again, you can get away on the local level, like with what we're doing, local lead generation, you can get away with not getting the most amazing backlinks in the world and still be just fine, but might as well, start somewhere with trying to get, some good stuff. Okay. So this one first right here, like we're going to go ahead and click the backlinks section right here. Let me toggle this off real quick so it doesn't bother me. Okay. So there's 2 columns I want you guys to look at. I know Corey posted this in the group, but there's the domain. So this is showing how much trust flow and citation flow the actual domain, this domain, which is pccsc.net, right? Palmetto Cycling Coalition. This is how much trust and citation their entire domain has. And then the URL that is linking back to Bolton Mank is even better, right? So oftentimes you'll see the domain doing a lot better than the individual URL, but the link authority comes from the page that is referring back to you, right? So if there's a home page linking back to you, chances are it's going to have probably some authority coming to it. If it's a sub page that has no link, no link juice or authority itself, and it's linking back to you, It's not going to really help a whole lot, but it's still not completely useless. And the reason why is because you know how I've taught you guys how to do internal linking, right? Link your pages together. Well, the reason for that is that internal linking structure on your website alone passes link authority from your homepage, if it's got any, to the other pages that it's linked to, right? So let's say there's a world where your homepage has 5 links, just for simple math, and all of your sub pages have 0 links, right? Your service pages, your additional city keywords, your blogs, all that, right? They have 0 links, but you have a really good internal linking structure. And let's say those 5 links are actually pretty topically relevant. Well, actually, that juice is going to get passed around to your sub pages as well, right? Now let's talk about the scenario like Corey posted in the group, where if you guys saw that post or not, he said, hey, I found this awesome website that has all this authority, but I got a link from it and it's not passing me anything. And I said, well, you know, the URL right here, right, said 0/0, and the domain had all the trust and the stuff. So what that tells me is that either it's a recent page that linked back to Corey, or that hasn't really like been indexed fully to where like the Google bot like recognizes the authority being passed to it. Or let's say it's a website that has a homepage that has some authority, which it did because he showed us that screenshot, right? But the sub pages don't have any links to it or anything like that, right? There's no good internal linking structure, and he's getting a link from the page that doesn't have any juice or authority from it. Well, Corey's comment was after, he's like, oh, so is this a useful or a useless link? And I said, well, not exactly, because the minute that website that is now linking to Corey from the subpage, even though right now it doesn't have any trust for a citation flow, the minute that guy or that website owner gets with the program and either internally links or does whatever they need to do to start getting some authority to that subpage, it's already got the connection to Corey's site, so it can serve him potentially down the road, but it's a little bit out of your hands, right? Which is a good talking point for a lot of this backlinking stuff. Is sometimes it is out of our hands. Like, what I want you guys to coach yourselves on is to put in the work for doing the backlinking, and don't worry about the result. Just put in the work, right? And don't rely so much on the result as far as like, oh, I went and attempted to get 5 links, none of them have come through, I'm just not going to do backlinking anymore. No, like that's not what you want to do. You want to be consistent with attempting to get backlinks, right? Even if it's just to stay a little bit sharp. But it's just because sometimes I've gone and I've placed a link or I've got something and I check like 1 week, it's hasn't indexed yet, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And then I'm like, oh, it might not index at all. And then 6 weeks later, all of a sudden Google crawls that page and it finds the link and now starts sending, starts recognizing, and it boosts my rankings, right? So it's one of those things where it can take a while. Backlinks have to index just like pages have to index, right? Google has to discover the link in order to acknowledge the link in order to give you the boost in rankings, right? So Corey, I saw your hand go up and then go down. Is it because I answered your question, or?
No, I was going to say that I ended up actually reaching out to that website and everything and to discuss that link, and they moved it over to a different page that had a little bit more relevance, and that page is 11/10 for the
perfect.
The
Perfect. That's awesome. So that's a beautiful example, guys.
I would still love their main domain. I would still love their main domain, 64/54.
Yeah, I mean, and just so you know, chances of getting a homepage link is actually pretty small, right? It can happen with like your local chamber of commerce, guys. You can call up a local chamber of commerce, say, hey, we just started our company in the area. I was wondering how much it costs to sponsor you. Sometimes I've gotten links. I've paid $50 one time, and it's like a beautifully topically relevant link. I paid for it, yeah, but it's something that's helping juice my site up and give it all this topical authority because it's literally the chamber of commerce in the city where my site's at. You know what I mean? So that's just one of those things where, and again, I found it because I was looking at other competitors' backlinks and I saw that they were getting a backlink from the chamber of commerce. And I started thinking to myself, well, how do I get a link from the chamber of commerce? Let me call them up, right? Just like Corey did, called up the website owner, right? Not every website owner is going to answer or whatever, but again, it's coach yourselves on putting in the work, hold yourself accountable to putting in a little bit of backlink work consistently. I'm not going to sit here and tell you need to do, 5 hours of backlink work a week or 5 hours of backlink work a month or whatever. Like, you guys do what you got to do on backlinks, but choose something consistent, put it on your schedule, and just hold yourself accountable to do it, because it is a worthwhile skill to learn. Okay. So diving into here, let's see how this works. Okay. So right here is the page where this link is coming from. Now, a couple things to point out. It's coming from an image alt text. So if I hover over right here, the link is actually in the alt text. So it might not actually show up. It's actually, yeah, like, see that little image picture right there? So this link is actually a picture that is linked, right? And that's not uncommon. That's like, this honestly could be a sponsorship, because that's often what happens is, like, if you sponsor something, they put your logo on there and the logo links back to your website, right? So this Palmetto Cycling Coalition, sponsor something, they put your logo on there and the logo links back to your website, right? Yeah, see, look at these sponsors right here, boom. Bolton and Mink right there. See? So these guys are sponsoring this PCCSC.net. I don't know how much it costs to be a platinum sponsor, but see, this is why we do this, is because what if I called up the PCC or whatever, this coalition, or maybe I can find, an example of how much it costs. Here we go. Support us, sponsors. Let's look. Is there a place for become a sponsor? Support us. Donate online. Donor. Thanks for your support. Business organization. Select. Choose your loyalty level. So these look pretty expensive. Platinum's $1,000. So I don't think you necessarily, the link doesn't matter to be, platinum, but what if you were a bronze sponsor, right? And in fact, what we could do is go to the bronze sponsors. I think I saw them I thought I saw them on the last page. Let's go to the bronze sponsors and let's look. So this is the type of investigation that we're doing. This is why I call it the rabbit trail, right? And this is a really good example. So let's look at these bronze sponsors that we know that if we donated $100 to this coalition, and hopefully another thing we'd want to verify is that a one-time donation? Is it an annual donation, right? And keep in mind, guys, if you have an SEO deal for a company that's like, hey, can you rank our website, not your website? You can use the client's money to go do these sponsorship things and find backlinks. And even if you have to pay a little bit of money and it gets them the result, and they keep their retainer with you for longer because you're getting them good results and you're ranking their website for keywords, like, it's worth it to, if somebody's paying you $500 to do SEO a month on their website and you spend $100 to sponsor the bicycle coalition. And if it's a one-time link, that's going to link to them for a long time. So what I want to do, and where I'm going with this, is to show you that this page right here, this sponsorship page, even though it's different, and maybe the reason why, I'm guessing the reason why the platinum and top of the podium Spencers, and I'd want to see how much this yellow jersey sponsor is. But if you guys notice, remember my explanation that I just made, which is the link that is coming into Bolton and Mank is coming from the actual domain, right? Which is, and they're on the homepage, right? But if we become a bronze sponsor, are you guys noticing this? If we become a bronze sponsor, that's now going to be getting a link from a different page. So what I want to do is I want to look and see what this page is, right? So I can do that one of two ways. I could do it by copying and pasting it here. Usually what I do when I'm on Majestic, just to not lose this page, is I duplicate it so that I can keep going down the list here, because I basically just go in, like when I'm doing a backlinking session, I just start looking at link profiles, right? And I just go down the rabbit hole, right? So now I'm on a second Majestic page and I'm going to put in this URL, right? So this is still pretty good, right? So getting a link from a page that's 29 over 25, still a pretty solid link. Now, I don't know if this coalition, bicycle coalition, is super topically relevant, but I mean, it's a solid backlink, right? Now, actually, another thing that I think, if I'm not mistaken, it is a no follow link as well. So a lot of that juice might not flow all the way over to us, but however, no follow links are still, you know, they're still worth it, right? Um, because in the past, like I would just like not get a no follow link at all, but now the Google is rewarding more of a natural looking link profile, because basically in their eyes, if they're like, you've got 20 backlinks and all of them are do follow, like fat chance that that's the case. Like you're trying to game the system here. And so they look at that actually not as good as if you had like 10 and 10 or something like that. Right. So again, the Bolton and Mank still has an amazing link profile, even though they have some no follow links. Right. So anyways, hopefully that's making sense and giving you an idea of like how we could go get a link at the same place it's not always going to be a pay to play either, right? There's tons of free options. That no jab jobs one that I gave you guys that now isn't really useful anymore, isn't passing the link authority. I found that and it was completely free and it gave juice to my websites for a long time, right? And it gave juice to a lot of your guys' websites for a long time, right? And so those types of links are out there all the time. Corey just talked about his win earlier, which was he got 4 links that are all sending over authority, right? So let's go ahead and look at brookgreen.org corporate partnerships. So this is like yet another, sponsorship looking thing, right? So corporate leaders, corporate benefactors, corporate patrons, corporate supporters, Bolton and Mank right there, right? So that's a link right there. Now, another way that you can go down the rabbit hole when I come to a page like this, right, is what does it tell me? And I might have to do a little bit further investigating, because these could legitimately just be sponsors that just so happen to be sending authority over, and it is very natural, but it also could be some SEO guys or gals being like, hey, if we support this brookgreen.org, or whatever. And sometimes you don't even have to be like, you could just be a supporter and fill out some form and you get put on the supporter list and you're getting some juice coming over and you didn't have to pay for it, right? Kind of like that no jab jobs one, right? But what I could do here is like, perfect example, Myrtle Beach Guide Inc. or Myrtle Beach Chevrolet Cadillac, right? Let's say I have a lead gen site in Myrtle Beach. So what I could do is open Cadillac, Myrtle Beach Chevrolet Cadillac, and Myrtle Beach Guide Inc., right? The guide might actually be a little bit more helpful on this front, but and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to test their link profile, right? So now I'm going to go in here. I'm going to, since I don't really need to come here anymore, but before I go away from the cycling one, or like right before I click enter here, you could write down that cycling one as an opportunity to do. I don't know how much the yellow jerseys one would have cost or whatever, the yellow sponsorship thing. Let me go back to it real quick. It was this yellow jersey sponsor. I mean, I guess let's look at the cost real quick. Yellow jersey, $5,000. Okay, yeah, we don't want to get into that. But anyway, so hopefully you guys get the idea here. So the rabbit hole is now taking me to Myrtle Beach Chevrolet Cadillac, right? And now I'm going to look at Myrtle Beach Chevrolet Cadillac's website. And they're 24/28. That's pretty close to a 1-to-1 ratio, right? That's pretty dang good. So let's go ahead and look at their backlinks and see, again, maybe they're getting links because they're an auto dealership in Myrtle Beach. Maybe they're getting links from other local businesses saying, hey, if you need a car, go to Myrtle Beach Chevrolet, .com or whatever. And, you can see here's one of their links, right? It's a distinct do follow link. It's got great metrics here, but let's look at this Myrtle Beach Corvette Club, right? Cool. What if I got a link from the Myrtle Beach Corvette Club and I was a sponsor of theirs of some sort, right? Oh, look at this, sponsors, And then, okay, how much does it cost to be a sponsor? right? Or can we just, show our support or something? I don't know. Membership, car show, home. Yeah. So going back here, this was a 16/30 coming from this direct page, which is the homepage, right? So, and then it's an image link, so it's one of these sponsorship ones. Myrtle Beach Chevrolet Cadillac, right there. That's the logo that is linking back to this website that's given them some juice because they are a sponsor, right? So I could send a simple message if I didn't know how to become a sponsor. Look at all these sponsors on here. Look at this. American Muscle, let's go. A1 Auto Transport, Sunshine Printing and Design, Hamburger Joe's, Coastal Coating, right? Imagine if you had an auto detailing, all hands auto detailing. What if you wanted to be what if you had an auto detailing website in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and you got a backlink from the Corvette Club, the Myrtle Beach Corvette Club? How much more topically relevant can you get than that? Do follow. They've got good trust flowing over to you. So hopefully you guys are seeing how to do this. I don't know if we can make it just like a gauge in the chat real quick. Can you guys throw up there either thumbs up or any sort of affirmation that this is hopefully making sense and how to do this? Because I know it goes over a lot of people's heads, and that's okay because it's a technical thing. Amanda says super helpful. I'll take that. If there's any questions, feel free to throw them out and we can cover it as well if it's still not clicking. But I also think we kind of lucked out with some amazing examples as well, because sometimes it doesn't. And maybe if the reason it hasn't clicked thus far is because you haven't been able to see an amazing example like this. But so far, this is causing a lot of good examples.
So one thing that could probably help everybody, Zach, if you could go back to the main page that started the rabbit hole, I don't remember the name of the company.
Menk or whatever.
Yeah. And then everybody essentially go back up, scroll up, hit print screen, and then make a box around all this so that way the image gets saved on your computer. And then pretty much type them into Majestic and start scrolling down the list of all their links and start going down the rabbit holes. That's how I found mine. And I found one and did pretty much that. I reached out to them, and it's a US business and everything, but it's essentially for for landscaping and everything, but they focus on, how to grow plants out of New Zealand, but they're here in the US. And essentially, I saw they had some people linked to them. I asked, what do I need to do to get on LinkedIn? And they're like, just send me your URL and stuff, and I'll take care of it and everything in your business name. And I did. And as far as I know, it should be popping up on one of my landscaping ones.
Money.
But that's the rabbit hole is the way that I found. And if you're doing the pay to play, make sure that you see on there that it says permanent link. And do not do one where they want you to do like an HTML linking between you and them. Because Google has put out, they frown upon that now.
Yep. Yeah. They've frowned upon that for a long time. So yeah, absolutely. And when it comes to pay to play, so if you guys remember in my slideshow, you guys probably heard me say or saw the warning of like, Google doesn't want you to pay for backlinks. But remember, that Google doesn't care if you sponsor somebody and they link back to your website. That's not what they're talking about. They're talking about there's literally companies out there, and you'll run across them, or people on Fiverr will tell you they can get you a gazillion backlinks. John Melby actually has some experience with that. Be careful with that, because the downside to that, as well as there is something called link velocity. So what link velocity is if Google sees that your website goes from 0 backlinks, or let's call it 3 backlinks, and you go and you see somebody on Fiverr promising you the world that they're going to get you 150 backlinks, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to get 150 links. And Google sees that you go to 150 links and they all index around the same time, and then the following weeks afterwards, no new links were added. They will start to get much more suspicious of your site than they will trust of your site, okay? Because that looks super unnatural, right? But if you're dripping out, and the reason why I say to coach yourselves on doing a little bit of backlinking consistently, because that is much more natural than than, you know, going and buying and doing them in mass, right? It's the same thing with, like, if anybody's ever promising you like an AI backlinking tool, it's not going to be what you think, right? I'm talking from experience here, where I've gotten sold. You know, my dad calls them a lure meant to catch a fisherman, right? I've been sold things, shiny objects, thinking, oh, I'm gonna, you know, get my sites to rank or whatever. And so it's not, you know, that saying of like, it's, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is, right? Or too good to be true. Yeah, it probably is. Yeah. So anyway, so this is how you do it much more naturally, right? So Corey went and got 4 links. If he goes and gets another 1 link or 2 links within the next month or two, Google's going to be like, dude, this business owner's freaking awesome. Like, he's doing it right, you know, looks totally natural. Whereas if Corey now goes and buys a backlink package of 150 links that have nothing to do with his niche or whatever, Google's going to flag that and be like, okay, this is weird, right? If they know which URLs are like what are called link farms as well. Those are those link schemes that you heard me talk about in that slideshow. But paying for a sponsorship or whatever, and ideally, like Stefan or David said, it's helpful. I think I need the hands-on experience on getting it done without cost. Yeah. So David and everybody on this call right now that's watching this, you don't have to pay in order to get the links. But if you run across a great opportunity for $25, one-time payment, link for life from a topically relevant source, I do want you guys to consider doing that. I know we're trying to keep costs low, but look at it as an investment into your site, because these are assets that can produce cash flow for months on end for you. And they're assets that you own, right? So every time that you spend a $25 here, $50 here, I'm not advocating go and spend the $5,000 thing. I'm not saying that at all, right? I would never do that. And in fact, my kind of threshold at this point, even, you know, where I'm at, and it depends on how big the ticket price is, if I have it rented out or not, or whatever. But if I sign a deal for, if I sign a deal for $1,500, I have no problem taking a couple $100s of that and going and spending it on some permanent backlinks to keep that site at the top and potentially generate more traffic for my business owner, right? I have no problem doing that 1 month, 2 months, or whatever, right? And that's wise, because it's paying me $1,500. So essentially, I'm using the business owner's money to fund my asset, that if that business owner ever leaves me, guess what? I still have the links and I still own the links, right? So I'm using that money to invest in my business, right? So I just want to point it out there. And David, I'm not calling you out or anything for saying like, oh, I'm trying to do it on the cheap. No, not at all. Like, that's how I was very scrappy at the very beginning of my journey, because I didn't have all the disposable money in the world to be able to just go blow on, you know, potential links or whatever, right? Now, the nice thing is that a lot of the like sponsorship ones that we've looked at are permanent and stick around for a long time, right? So anyway, Sheila says, I came in late, but I'm hearing to look for relevant sponsorship opportunities and reach out to them to see how we can be on their page. Yeah, Sheila, so we're talking about backlinks here. And we just have come across so far on our journey a lot, you know, a couple sponsorship opportunities, which again are one of those things. They're not always going to be sponsorships, but sometimes they are, right? So anyways, and if you guys remember, is this where it was or here? This is where we started. I just typed into the search engine results page, best landscape design companies in the United States, because I wanted to find big companies that have already done a ton of work for me, right? And just let that lead me down the rabbit hole, right? So I could do top 9 landscape design companies. We could start again. So Brightview Landscapes is leading commercial landscaping company that offers comprehensive services nationwide. Davy Tree, that's a big one if you guys have done, or True Green. Like, these are all great, right? So we can open up these links, look up Brightview Landscapes. So to give you an idea, these guys right here are all getting links from Modern Home Builders, right? So they're getting links from these articles because they're good companies, right? And so that's how these guys are building links naturally as well, right? Now, obviously, we're not a True Green, we're not a Davy or anything like that, but let me go ahead and get this to .com because that was the UK version. So let's go ahead and look at truegreen.com. If you're in the UK, you can go to truegreen.co.uk and use that as a starting place, right? If you've got a site that's starting in the UK, not you living in the UK, but if you have a site that's located in the UK, great place to start, right? So let's come back into Majestic here. And yeah, I mean, we can just take Bolton and Mank out of here. I just want to show you guys here. Not that any of those other links, I mean, we could go further, but let's just look at True Greens real quick, okay? So True Green, bigtimber.com, bunch of, look at that, Chamber of Commerce, right? Sweetgrass County. I don't know where Sweetgrass County is, but let's check. Montana. So if you have a Montana website, like I was telling you earlier about the Chamber of Commerce are awesome, right? And chances are they probably don't charge you a whole lot if you wanted to be a sponsor. Look at these guys right here, gold, silver. I don't know which. If you see here, True Green is where the link. That's the anchor text. So if you're ever looking for that, you can just go Command F and go to True Green. Or wait, it's not. It's True Green. Okay, so True Green right here. So they're a silver sponsor. And if I hover over it, see in the bottom left-hand corner of my screen where it says truegreen.com. Same with Town Pump, Sweetgrass Title Company, sweetgrasstitle.com. So this is a link that is True Green's best link that we just looked at in Majestic. And again, it's another one of these like sponsorship opportunities. I know Sheila's probably like, what are we talking about? Sponsors? I know a lot of them today are talking about sponsors, but let's just look for an example. You know, if I was in Sweetgrass County, I would be either creating an account or reaching out to these people I'm trying to see if they have, so they've got a business directory page, which probably has a bunch of links to people as well. I don't know if you have to pay for the sponsor. I'm sure you have to pay for the sponsorship because that's how they raise money for the county or city or whatever. But About Us, membership. If it's an ongoing membership, I'm not as interested in it where I have to continue to pay, not as interested in it. I'm interested in one-time payments, $150 a year. There you go. But here's a scenario for you. You sign an SEO deal with somebody in Montana, friend, family member, whatever, colleague, whatever, and they're paying you $500 a month, $1,000 a month to do SEO for their website. Would you spend the $150 a year and sign them up for a membership to be a sponsor so that they could get that link? You absolutely should do that, right? That's in your client's best interest, right? I know it might come out of what they're paying you a little bit, but again, it's investing in that. And guess what? If they ever cancel with you, just cancel the membership, right? And that link will go away from them and maybe their rankings will drop and they'll come back. I'm not saying I don't advocate to do that as like a sly, like manipulative tactic, but again, it's one of those things where like, you're not going to keep paying for the membership just because, you know, your client paid you once upon a time. Like you're just gonna, yeah, like that would be stupid. So anyway, so hopefully that's a good example. Let's look at the next one. Member companies, member list. So I'm guessing this is another sponsorship thing. And as you guys are seeing probably, like if we go further down on the page here, you're probably seeing a pattern where the ones with the highest trust and citation flow are a lot of these sponsorship, these directories and stuff like that, where they might be that pay to play. But let's go ahead and look at, some of these other ones down here. So vaturf.org is Virginia Turfgrass Council. It's a blog. Okay, this is good. So here's a blog, right? And I don't know if there'll be an opportunity for us to place a link, but okay, you can see True Green right there is a member. But let's see if we can find a blog and music festival. You can see that one was deleted. You can look at those little tags. Landscapepros.com, product partners, 28/24, solid link. So as you guys can see, True Green probably, I'm guessing, is ranking nationally. I guarantee it. They're one of the top 10, I bet, if you typed in landscape company United States or whatever. Like I found it on a blog that listed them all out, but I would be willing to bet their SEO is pretty stout. And the reason why is because look at all these links that they have that are all topically relevant, right? Landscapepros.com product partners, right? Let's look at this. So Landscape Pros might be some sort of supplier or something like that, right? Product partners, Environmental Management Inc., EMI. All these guys are getting links from them, right? So EMI strives to support local vendors for needed landscaping materials and supplies, right? Cool. So I don't know if you have to buy supplies from them in order to be listed here, but maybe you could just say, hey, could I get on the supply list or something? I don't know, buy supplies one time and maybe you buy some fertilizer for your lawn or something, have them ship it to you, and I don't know, right? So hopefully, hopefully you guys are seeing here here's a Appleton, Wisconsin blogspot.com. I'm trying to find a blog and see if there's an article here. So is there a place for me to be able to put a comment? Nope. Oh, I guess you can comment, but I don't know if they are shown or not. I don't want to see that ad. Okay, so blogger, post a comment, remarkable service for tax and financial planning water. So that's a link to the post. Hey, check this out, right? So this is what you can do for blog posting. Now, this was in June of 2020, and this is still around, right? So look at this. Mark W said, sounds like a great service. Do you have any recommendation for someone in Kalamazoo, Michigan? That's a total BS comment, just so you guys know. The only thing that Mark W, which is probably not a real name, was doing is, and I guess it looks like he has a profile. You might have to create a profile here. Yeah, so June 2020, big shocker. He left this in June of 2020, this comment, right? So he probably created a fake profile. And if you hover over Kalamazoo, look at the bottom, www.lawnservicekalamazoo.com, right? Let's open this in another link. Okay. Oh, well, he took the site down. So maybe it was a guy trying to get links for a lead gen site or something like that, right? But what he did here, if you go in here and you click inspect, you guys know how,
Hey, real quick too, everybody, Zach, if you move your thing, screenshot that part right there that's kind of highlighted, the high ref and everything. That's how you do the HTML coding when doing comments and stuff on a lot of blog posts.
Yep. So I'm going to recreate that comment right now in this comment. Okay. So I'm going to say, sounds great, or sounds like a great service. Do you have any recommendations? Because if you guys remember in my slideshow in the training, and then I'm going to paste this, okay? And if you guys remember, what's the first thing that goes in? And it looks like the rel attribute is no follow, right? So, and that you're not going to put in yourself. You're not going to put in a rel attribute, but the first in between quotations is the destination, which is lawnservicekalamazoo.com. So if I hover over this, lawnservicekalamazoo.com, right? So let's say I wanted to do and then in between here is my anchor text. So I'm going to do Pasco. I'll take out the rel attribute just because I don't want that to be there. Washington, question mark. Okay, so what's going to happen when I'll do this.
You spelled Washington wrong.
Washington. Okay, so I'm just redoing this. So when I click, I don't know if this will work or not, but this is the same thing that you would do for all stuff. So look at this. Look at that. Just placed a link, right? Sounds like a great service. Do you have any recommendations for someone in Pasco, Washington? And I just linked to my website, Affordable Landscapes, Pasco, right? So now, just because I created this link right here does not mean that I immediately have the link. This page still has to get discovered by Google, and there's a good chance, I mean, I didn't even check the trust flow of this page, but there's a good chance that there might not be any coming from this. So that's where, you know, you want to, gonna test it real quick. Yeah, it says there's no, let's see if I can, yeah, I don't even know. This page from Blogger might not even be bringing anything over from it, right? So anyways, because this is where the page would be coming from, right? Let's go back. Now, if that post ever got like, you know, posted right here, or like it was able to, you know, be on this page of some sort, appletonwisconsin.blogspot, then it would start sending over the juice once Google had indexed it. Okay, let's keep going down. Unless we've got about 5 minutes. We got 5 minutes left. So throw out questions in the chat or unmute yourselves, you guys. Or I can also check here. Not a win, but I need some clarity on the subject of what the process of switching your domain. I have a conflict with the local business and I need to change my domain, logo, and other things. But I was just curious if there's any shortcuts to switching your domain. I have my site already built and ranking. Just curious how this all works because I know I'm going to have to reconfigure so much of the work I've already done. How big of a headache is this process? Usually because I have 4 weeks to complete this task. Also wondering what the effects, rankings, indexing, visibility, etc. I've never gone through this before, so any info? Okay, this is a good question from Tristan. I think you guys can read it on my screen. So I don't know what kind of conflict that Tristan is potentially getting brought up about, but I will tell you this. Sometimes business owners get really pissy when you outrank them and they see that your domain is like similar to the LLC that they have set up. But first and foremost, just because somebody has an LLC set up does not entitle them to the domain, to the trademarks, to patents, or anything like that, okay? So if anybody ever comes to you and is like, hey, you have to change your domain, that's not the case. However, if you chose your name, like I chose my name of my site as Affordable Landscapes Pasco, and there was a company out there that had that exact same name in a legal formation, then I would suggest changing the name, okay? So Tristan, you do not need to change your domain, okay? If you don't want to, if you're worried about it, just know that I've been threatened many a times by people that get mad that I'm generating all the leads. And it's one of those things that you may have to deal with, right? We had someone else in the group, similar thing. I walked her through how to do it, and you know, the people left her alone and all that kind of stuff. But it occasionally happens. People get mad, and especially right now, constrictions in the economy, all this kind of stuff. Like maybe they don't have leads, and now they're just looking to pick a fight with somebody because they're miserable, sad sacks of crap. But anyways, so first of all, you don't have to change your domain if you don't want to. They are not entitled to that whatsoever. They should have bought the domain if they wanted it, okay? So if you want to change the domain, you can. And to answer the question on will that affect the rankings? The only way that would affect the rankings is if you had already done a bunch of backlinking to that domain, because backlinks go back to a domain, right? So you guys saw that Kalamazoo one that we just looked at is broken. Chances are they took down that site, or maybe he changed his domain, right? Could be, I don't know. So that's first and foremost. If your logo is similar to somebody else's or your name, just change the logo and the name, change it in the site wherever it is. Super simple to do. You just do a simple Control F on the site that you're, Control find everywhere on your pages where, the name of the site is, and just change it to something else, right? and you're fine. If they threaten you with a lawsuit, if they threaten you with lawyers, all that kind of stuff, they can't do anything, and they will not take you to court to try to change it. Guarantee it. And if they did, they wouldn't win, and they would have to pay all your lawyer fees. So anyway, that is my answer to that. Let me see if I touched on everything there, Tristan. And my site already built and ranking. So yeah, change your logo and change the name if that's conflicting. But at the end of the day, you don't have to change the domain. So tell them to pound sand. But I was just curious if there's any shortcuts to switching your domain. Yeah, I wouldn't change the domain. They're not entitled to it just because they built an LLC with that name. How big of a headache is this process? Also wondering what this affects rankings, indexing, visibility, etc. So if you did change the domain, it might change the indexing for a tad bit, but then they will see that the other domain went offline, the new one came online, Google's bot, right? And they're not gonna ding you for plagiarized content or anything like that in the long run, right? It might take a little dip if you did change your domain, and that's why I'm telling you not to change your domain, right? Unless that business owner is offering you a lot of money for the domain, then try to sell it to them. But anyways, visibility. I've never gone through this before, so anyway, yeah, Tristan, I hope that helps, man, and anybody else that ever runs into that situation before. It's not the end of the world. I know it's scary when somebody threatens you with a lawsuit if you've never been an entrepreneur before, but you can sue anybody for anything these days. So people threat all they want, but they'll never take action on you, because if they have attorneys with a third of a brain, the attorney will be like, yeah, we're never going to win this. And so they wouldn't even press anything, but they'll threaten, right? They'll hope that the threats get you to do something that they want you to do, right? So just stand your ground. Okay, Sheila says in the comments, just finished my third site and do not see much under SEO extension schema versus my other websites show a lot of detail under schema. The website has been up for a week now. Does it take time to reflect on SEO extension schema? Not sure if I just did something wrong or it's a normal delay. So Sheila, have you already set up the schema? Have you already set up and reviewed and enabled in the back end of WebPro?
Yeah, I checked and I did all that. I just updated and refreshed, so I don't know if that helps. So we'll see.
Yeah, I suppose if the first crawl they didn't pick up on the schema, which would be interesting, then it might not show up until the next crawl.
Okay.
So, yeah, I would keep an eye on it for sure, but if you just published it within the last few weeks, I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, I would just double check in the back end business info tab on the content side of WebPro. Look at your local business schema markup and just make sure everything is filled out there as best as possible. So,
Awesome.
And if there's any conflict, like it's review and enable. So it takes you to a page that's just like you can click enable, but you always want to check the rich results tool that Google will pull up in there and run it and make sure you get to check marks and make sure that nothing is missing. Because if there's something missing that it needs, then it might reflect on that as well. So
great. I'll check it again. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. All right, we've got Stefan and then Corey, and then I think we're going to stop there because we're already a little bit over.
Yeah, I don't know if somebody asked already in the last call. Do you have any updates about the mastermind and the MacBooks?
No, so there's been a bunch of a big old mess on that front because not everybody kept their sites active, so they have disqualified themselves, and then I'm dealing with that and stuff as well. So yeah, we're cross-referencing everything and making sure and checking all of it, and so I have somebody doing it, and it's just going.
Take some time. Don't worry. And the mastermind, is it still set for February? Because I'm thinking about going.
No, we don't have it. We don't have a date yet. No, I would have already bought tickets and everything for.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering because kind of getting hard to getting some tickets at this time.
Yeah. So yeah, we're just trying to coordinate everything and make sure and plan it for a time when everybody that still is eligible. I think there's only 3 people currently eligible to go on that trip. So.
Oh, but for sure not February and March or later on. Do you have any?
I think it's going to be later on. So I don't know yet, but I'll keep you guys posted. First, I got to figure out who's still eligible for it. and then plan with the lady on everything. So yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Corey?
So me and John had a question essentially when it comes to linking our sites since they're relevant to each other and everything, him being cleaning, mine being building. Is it better to have it as a link circle or something, or to just have it individually linking?
I mean, ideally, I would always suggest to put more space in between you guys, with a link circle of some sort. Mainly because I think if you do it once, they're not gonna, that, you know, I've done it before, doesn't really, you know, I haven't seen like a drastic negative impact or anything like that. But if you were to do it over and over and over again, and they started seeing like, hey, this website is linked to this one and they're linked back, and then this website's also linked to somebody else and they linked back, and then they start connecting the dots, then they're going to be, that will negatively impact you. So again, my thought process always is like, how can I set this up to where it's going to give me the best results long term, you know? But that shouldn't impact you if you just do that one, right? But ideally, throw out a link circle. Anybody else that's in the pool cleaning or pool builder niche, you guys should be able to get a link going, no matter if they're in Sacramento or not. But you guys both in Sacramento will get some juice coming to your place, you know.
Yeah, hit me up, Corey. I have a pool building website and a pool cleaning website. So if you want to create a circle or something.
Yeah, we need, right now when me and John were doing the numbers, we need essentially 2 more sites to be able to create the circle.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, appreciate you guys hopping on and showing up, and I'll see you guys throughout the week in the group, and we'll see you guys next week.
All right. Thanks.
Take it easy. We'll see you.